I've never really thought about it before, but GTA 4 is night and day compared to the rest of the series. When you think of GTA, you usually imagine fast cars, police chases, and total chaos on the streets. And technically, GTA 4 has all of that. But when it came out in 2008, it was clear this was a reboot of the series, quite literally. Rockstar made it clear that this was a new universe, the so-called HD universe, and whatever happened in the 3D universe doesn't exist here. If that's not a reboot, tell me what is. And it was also clear from a gameplay perspective that now they were going for something much more realistic. Something more like a simulator of being a gangster in a world that is still a satire of ours, but much more grounded. And the funny thing is, that direction didn't even last through both expansions. Because in episodes from Liberty City, they started to move away from simulation and back toward a game designed first and foremost around giving the player as much fun as possible. And GTA V abandoned the idea of GTA 4 almost completely by going back to the roots. Still much more realistic than the 3D era games, of course, but abandoning the direction they were going for in GTA 4 with this whole reboot. And while that actually makes the GTA series much more interesting and enjoyable, because every mainline entry brings something different to the table, I must say that's also partly what caused my problem with the game and the reason this essay exists. GTA 4 back in high school was easily my favorite game. I played a ridiculous amount of it together with its episodes. So when I started coming back to it every now and then, years later, I was actually really surprised, and not in a pleasant way, that I was enjoying it less and less every time. For me, GTA 5 is still a better game, and I got used to its completely different gameplay. That's one thing, but on the other hand, I knew that GTA 4 was as good as always, and the problem was somewhere else. And that's when I finally figured out what the problem was. Just like in the title, the slower you play, the more enjoyable it is. First thing, what makes you want to keep playing a game? Not just GTA 4, any game. You could say when the game is simply fun. And that's basically the 3D era GTAs and GTA 5. Another thing that could make you play a game is, however stupid it may sound, the sense of obligation. Maps covered in icons, constant reminders, checklists, stuff designed to keep you engaged even when the activity itself isn't particularly fun. Why do they want you to feel obligated? Because there is this paradigm that the longer you play, the more likely you are to buy microtransactions. But going back to the core, you like to play specific games because they are fun or because they give you the sense of checklist duty. But there's also another type. A game that isn't necessarily fun in the conventional sense, but is deeply satisfying. A very rare kind. And I'd argue that GTA 4 and RDR2 belong in that category. There are many gameplay aspects to talk about, so let's start with driving. In a fun game like GTA 5, you enjoy killing half of a city in 5 minutes, or driving at a crazy speed, dodging other cars at the last second and making crazy turns. But in a game built around satisfaction, you get enjoyment, because there are strict rules. You get punished if you don't obey them, and it takes skill to actually do it right. So if in GTA 4 you go too fast, well, 99% of the time you'll be punished for it. Why? Because you lose control over the car, braking takes time, and you'll simply crash into another car or a building. That's the core of GTA 4 driving. There's no gamey magic, only physics. Yeah. Cars can feel a bit like boats, but the car in this game is a physical object that you never have complete control over. You need to find a balance between steering the car and managing its inertia. Like I said, it's not really realistic, despite the fact that it tried to be, but it's demanding and it has rules not just controls. And if you master it, it becomes incredibly satisfying. And it's as fulfilling as driving at 300 miles per hour in GTA V. Let's take another thing, shooting. In GTA V, it's very similar to Max Payne 3. Very fast, very dynamic. And it's great, of course. It's fun. But in GTA 4, NPCs have more health, which completely changes how the shooting plays. More health for NPCs in GTA 4 makes the gameplay more tactical than in a typical action game. Targeting specific body parts, using physics to make someone lose their balance and fall down, which buys you some time so you can focus on the next opponent. The animations themselves are also much slower than in GTA 5. Changing weapons takes a little time, going behind cover takes a little time, and on top of that, the cover mechanic is also clunky as hell in this game. None of it is as immediately fun as GTA 5, but if you take your time and learn how it works, it becomes incredibly satisfying. And the same goes for exploration. Combined with the driving model, exploration itself is very cinematic and slow by nature. Meetups with your friends involve a lot of dialogue, activities are kinda slow and take time. And then on top of that, you have a story. A story driven more by dialogue than action. And in a game that tried to be realistic in 2008, a bit like a gangster simulator, the mission design also makes sense. You won't drive a Mustang, like in the Ballad of Gay Tony. You won't jump into a river from a train crash, like in 5. You just drive to a place, there's some shooting, and you go back. Also not entirely realistic, because by the end of the game Niko has a body count of like 800, but still much closer to what the life of a gangster might actually look like. Especially a gangster with a military background. Organized crime loves using ex-soldiers as bodyguards or specialists for dirty work. Just like it happened with Niko. So the body count is exaggerated, but all of it is somewhat close to the truth. And if you really listen to the dialogue in the story, if you focus on why am I driving there instead of oh no, I need to drive somewhere again, the mission design stops feeling repetitive. You start getting more out of it. So if you try to play it like your typical fun game, meaning I want to drive fast, I want to just shoot without thinking, I want to do missions but I don't care about the story and so on, in this exact game it starts to feel like you are fighting against what the game is trying to be, instead of immersing yourself in it. In other GTA games, because they are built around having fun, you can play however you like. Playing crazy, playing realistically, rushing through it or taking your time. The games were designed around having fun, so you'll have a great time anyway. But here, it's built around immersing yourself, taking it slow and getting satisfaction from it. And if you treat it like, let's say, GTA 5, you'll enjoy it much less than you otherwise could. And I'm fully aware that it won't click for everyone, and that's fine. But if you give yourself and the game a chance, it can be very rewarding. So, the slower you play it, the better it gets. The interesting thing is that, in fact, you could say that's true for any high-quality game with real depth. And it's true, but GTA 4 loses far more than a lot of games when you don't actually take your time with it, to the point where it might not be enjoyable at all for some people. Its heavy driving, deliberate animations, tactical shootouts and a dialogue-driven story all encourage patience. Play it too fast and you are constantly fighting against the game and what it is. Slow down and suddenly it clicks. You finally sync up with what GTA 4 is actually trying to be. Alright guys, thanks for watching, subscribe if you want more and take care.